In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at how we make, how we first of all do armor inside Reforger. This means we will go through how to do a light introduction into how to do UV stuff, what it means, texture it, um, then how to set up your rigging, how to do weight painting, and then how to actually make colliders for your armor. This is not going to be super edited. I might edit some parts in case I've maybe done something wrong, in which I will correct myself. Um, this is the way I do it. I don't know if anyone else does it different, and maybe it will be changed in the near future, which I will probably make another tutorial now to do. But as of right now, this is how I do my mods, my armor mods specifically. So, three things you're gonna need. Uh, Two more important is first of all, uh, Reforger, Arma Reforger, and Arma Reforger tools. You can get Arma Reforger tools by just going to your library in Steam and select tools and then just search Arma, and it should be like somewhere around here. Then just download it. Your second important application is gonna be Blender. This is where you're gonna have um, your sort of model and whatnot, and it's good to. And I'm not gonna go very much in detail on how to use Blender. I will be showing step by step on how to obviously do the more important things that maybe the average Blender user maybe don't know about. But things like extruding, how faces work, all that, I won't go much in detail unless it's absolutely necessary. Third one being Substance Painter. Now, Substance Painter is gonna cost, and it is meant for um, it is meant for texturing. It's a really good application, I will say, but it costs a lot. However, I found other ways to do it. And before you say anything, yes, it is legal where I live. Just make sure that it's lawful and I don't know, compliant or whatever in whatever place you live in. Either way, let's get to it. Let's get into it then. So I'm gonna open a kind of already made model that I have. So I'm gonna open this. So this right here is my armor. Uh, this is kind of, yeah, this is exactly what it's gonna look like in game. How I know that is because if I delete everything here now, just real quick, uh, all of these bones, because that's for rigging, or not really rigging, but you know what I mean. So just delete that, so we only have our stuff. Uh, the model was made by this guy. I appreciate a lot. His model is actually really good. But basically, what I did was that I imported. Let's say that there's something with the head, or let's say the torso's twisted. you need to fix it by different ways. Um, but the way you make it so it will fit onto your character is if you import a specific skeleton. I have a pretty good one called an undersuit, uh, and it's gonna show you kind of exactly how the character is gonna look like. So you can see if it's perfectly fine. This is because I edited this model to kind of fit the undersuit, and don't worry about it being like this or showing it over here. I can just edit the undersuit to be smaller in certain parts and maybe bigger in others. But that's what it is, and you're gonna see here that this is root. This is gonna be your skeleton or whatever, and this thing right here. But I'm just gonna hide it for now. So texturing, usually what I do then is usually these models have like a bunch of materials. Now I've removed them. You can see that certain parts they use the same material. These arms use the same material, same material. The head uses helmet. This is part of chest. This is so that once you're in Reforger tools, you don't have to add in so many I guess you could say pictures onto your model. You're gonna see later on what I mean. But either way, once you're done with setting up your model to a fixed position, what you then want to do is export as FBX, drop into Substance Painter, and make sure that your model looks good. Uh, so for example, if I go over here, I've already done the model just by using some materials. So this is what it looks like. Pretty cool. Now these are the materials. I can like, with these smart materials, it's pretty simple. It's just drag and drop. So like if I want it to be that way, it can be like that. Drag it like so, it can be like whatever that is. And obviously you can go into more details, add layers, but I won't go too in depth. Either way, once you've done this, what you need to do is go to File, Export, and Output Directory. Go to where you have your stuff. I'm just gonna call this APA Textures. Select this folder. And then output template, you want it to be in Fusion. Now you're not gonna see this because this is a custom template, but I will provide um, a link download so that you guys can download it and put it inside Adobe. But either way, you're gonna see now that it's 10 textures. This thing had like 68, so that's why it's important that you reduce your materials, but even more important that your UV is properly fixed to it. As sometimes it can be buggy where uh, it's where it shows like it's black in certain parts and it doesn't look good inside substance. How you fix that is you select the mesh you have, go to the object, go to UV editing, and then just press U, Smart UV, island margin 10, 30, whatever, and then just press OK. Do that for all your materials, your different materials. Make sure that if it's like two different objects, you join them and then you UV that, and if you want to separate them, just go to edit mode, select the face here by just pressing it, Control L, and separate it by selection. Either way, so now I'm gonna export this. There you go. 10 textures. So how you add in this infusion link is you go over here, you go to add resources, uh, and wherever your thing is. Now I don't know where I put it, but basically you just need to select it, and here it's gonna be maybe your library, your assets, whatever. And instead of it saying maybe like usually how if you add a picture, it's gonna say undefined, and it's gonna say alpha, crocodile, whatever. This is gonna be already fixed. You don't need to change anything over here. Just leave that be. By the way, now we're done. Now we're going to be doing some weight painting so that this thing can actually work. Right. So what we want to do is we want to get the bone here, hide the actual undersuit, select all of these objects as one, join, make sure that you have your entire object. You do it by just pressing G, and what we want is for this object to follow this, so you're gonna see that it doesn't follow. So what you do is you select this, you hold shift, press that, control P with empty groups, very important. So now that when you're moving this, you're gonna see that, hold on, let me just move that. Right, so you can now move it like so, whatever. You're gonna see that all your meshes are here, that's fine, and that all your bones, or whatever you want to call them, vertex groups, are over here. I'm gonna be honest, like 60% of all of these stuff you don't really need to use. I'm gonna show you exactly which ones you do want to use, or at least the ones that I do. So how I do it is I press tab, and I go into edit mode. I then press faces, and what's nice with this model is that I can select a bunch of these blah, 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 these faces or whatever, but I don't really like doing it this way. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna separate these. So I do this by going X-ray, selecting a bunch of faces that got to do with the head, select it like so, just select a bunch of them. Or actually what you can do is go to mesh, select your head, and then selection. Now this is still gonna be part of the bone, like so, and I'm gonna do that for the rest. So selection, select, bada bing, boom, and there you go. That should be it, unless I'm missing something here. What is this? Alright, I'm gonna just hope it isn't anything too crazy. I hope. Um, we have all our pieces now, as you can see here. These are your bone things, the undersuits, your root, 155. That should be good. And now I'm gonna hide this, whatever that is. Hide that. And we can now get into making this work. Now, how do we do that? Well, we can go into edit mode, just pressing tab, press A, and this I would say is for spine 5. So I'm gonna have to look up where spine 5 is. Weight needs to be 1 and just assign. Once you go into weight paint, you're gonna see the entire thing is red. That means that that's done. Actually, yeah, no, that's good. Usually with these shoulders, I maybe change it to like a shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder, but I think it's fine if I make it just as spine 5. Usually I used to do it with the larger shoulders. These ones need to be separated. Specifically, this one needs to be separated from the other, like so. Selection. Make sure there's nothing there. Go into edit mode again. Press A, and this would be your left arm, like there. Assign this. Oh, you gotta separate that. Control L. Selection. This A. This would be your left forearm. There it is. Left forearm assign. Same thing over here. Control L. Selection. Go over here. Tab. Go to where it says right arm. Should be around here at the top. Right arm. Select it all. Very important. And assign. There you go. Here, A and right forearm, which would be over here. Assign. There you go. This pretty simple. Select the entire thing. This would be head. Yeah, it can take a while to look for these specific bones, but you know, it's not too bad. Right. Now this can be a bit more difficult, I will say. I might need to look into how I actually properly do this. Just changing it a bit, like so. Didn't do anything. GX. Let me just make slight adjustments. Actually, is it in 0? Origin to geometry. Okay, this one is not in 0. Nice. There you go. This one too. Yeah, not at 0. Nice. Wait, what? Okay, I'll just leave it like that. Right. So this can be a bit more difficult as I kind of want, you know, this to be separate, this to be separate, and this middle thing to be also be kind of separate. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select this one, press Control L. So I'm selecting the entire thing. Go to vortex groups. Now I'm thinking maybe. So usually this is something that the undersuit really helps. So I'm gonna go over here, go to waypaint, and just see which maybe place I should be using. Maybe it's stomach, maybe it's spine 4, maybe not spine 4. Stomach 2, spine 3 maybe is a bit better. Spine 2, I think spine 3. So I'd probably use spine 3 for this. And then for this part, um, maybe hips. Uh, so probably just spine 2. We can obviously change this later on. Doesn't matter all that much. Alt H to unhide everything. And just press H to hide objects. Forgot to mention that. So select this object again. Select the face. Control L. Select where the fuck was it? Spine 3. Here it is. Boom. And then select this one. Control L. This one probably also spine 3. I want to guess. Now these ones, I'm gonna have to separate these again. Control L. Control L. Separate by selection. Press tab again. And this one would be right leg twist, not right leg. I don't know. I've always done right leg twist. Maybe it is right leg. I don't know. I just do right leg twist. It works for me best. There you go. This thing. Control L. Make sure you have your entire object. Right click to press selection. Then the tab again. A. Select left leg twist. I think it's down here actually. Just kidding. It's not. Left. Where is this? Left leg twist. Here it is. So assign that. There we go. Now these ones, you can separate it. You can have these two be like right knee twist, and the boots be foot. But I'm feeling kind of lazy today, low key. So I'm just gonna do this entire thing as it's one. So I'm gonna be press A, press A, then go to right leg, right knee twist, which I think is maybe somewhere. Here it is. Right knee twist, assign. Go to this one, Press A, go to left knee twist, assign, and boom, there you go. Now, that should be Gucci. They don't need to all be joined together. Actually, it would be better if you didn't, because it would be a lot easier to do colliders later on when you separate them like this. So this in technicality should be good to go. Now I'm gonna export it. APA model Arma as a custom properties. Very important you check this. Very important. Armature, remove and leave bones. Do not use this. And then export FBX. Now you go into Steam, Reforger Tools, Launch, and now I'm gonna create a uh yeah, I'm gonna create a new project. I'm gonna call it Fallout PAs revised, or I don't know, Redux, I guess. I don't know. And I actually am going to use a different mod for this thing, which is I might as well show how to do dependencies then. So how you do dependencies is you need to go to your Arma Reforger game, you hit play, up. It's gonna take time to load up. Continue. Workshop, and then you download the mods you want as your dependency. I'm just gonna look through real quick. Vision, maybe. Either way, I'm gonna be using this thing. It has some pretty solid night vision, not gonna lie. So it's this. So you download that, then you exit out of Arma Reforger, and this is where you need to go to your file explorer. This PC, Windows, users, your username, then your documents, my games, Arma Reforger. Then you need to copy one exactly like this. So duplicate tab. Maybe like so. Then you go to my games in this one, Arma Reforger Workbench, add-ons. And this is where you have a bunch of stuff. Now, as you can, if I go to add-ons on this one, you can see I have a bunch of these mods. You're gonna have to look through for the mod you want as your dependency. Then go over here. Then you need to. So, for example, I I need to delete a lot of these. So this night vision. So I would find it somewhere around here. Maybe search for it. So this, I would take this and just drag it over here. and then that would be it. Then you need to head back to Reforger Tools. Why hasn't this stopped? Launch. Now when you add project, create new one. Fallout Redux, whatever you want to call it. And then you want to turn on your mods and add-on, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna check this box right here and press create. Now that you've done that, you're gonna see that this is where your dependency add-on, wherever you want to call it. This is the file where you're gonna be putting stuff. So I recommend creating a folder, calling it like, I don't know, Enclave APA. I would say it's important to have it all organized, just for your sake, and then call it model, and then basic, as I do want to make other variations of this maybe in potential future. So this is where you go to where you've put your little thing, this, and open as a model, and you have it in here. There's your textures. I should actually forgot to delete. Yeah, so actually you want to delete the undersuit at this point, unless you still need it to fix some things. I'm just gonna export again. What's nice is that if your file uses the same name, it doesn't change the prefab. So it's always better to keep reusing the same name instead of doing version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, version 5. Otherwise, you're going to be doing repetitive stuff for like half an hour. So there you go. Let me just double check some things. Alright. Alright, seems pretty good enough. Now, import settings, settings, export skinning, and re-import. If it says like file mesh, it means that one of your model has not been, or like a specific mesh hasn't been weight painted. That is why. That's also maybe why you see a part of your object maybe floating. So this, as you can see, 152 plus 11. It doesn't matter if it says 11, 12, 13, 14, whatever, as long as the total is 163. Once you've done that, you want to go to data. You want to maybe do a new folder, call it Enclave APA textures. Put all of these over here, and then this, select all of this, open, yes to all. Go back here. So we can go, just gotta wait a bit, can take a while. Yeah, I'm a little bit sick today, but nothing too bad, just a cough. Um, I just gotta wait for this. I don't know why it's taking so long. I think it's because I accidentally imported the suit too with it. I don't know. It shouldn't be anything too important. I can just remove it in that case. Go to where it says. Oh. I guess these need to be in data, right? That's maybe why. So maybe don't do what I did. Right. So go to helmet, and you need to search. So this says arms. This is chest. This is helmet. So you put in BCR. There you go. And then you go down to NMO, which is your normal. This one you're gonna have to experiment a little bit because it doesn't say exactly which one it's for. So, so it's obviously not this one. Just press Ctrl Z. Not this, and it's this. You can, you know, uh, increase the normal height so it looks maybe a bit more detailed. There you go. And now the chest. So this is why it's important to group up certain meshes. You don't want to do the entire thing into one UV, otherwise you're gonna missing a lot of uh, a lot of good quality texturing, I guess is what you want to call it, unless you properly know how to do UV. But either way, test this. Nice. Why is it like that? Did I change something in the model? Uh, hmm. This really bothers me. No, it's not that one. It's supposed to be this. Maybe if I put NMO. Oh, that's the right one. Right, so obviously there's an issue here because my model is for some reason not exactly the same as this thing right here, which doesn't make any sense. Right, so I'm back now with a bit of refreshment. So, right, so this is an issue. If your thing has the same thing, where it's like something's weird or something's fucked up, maybe it's doesn't look right. What you need to do is go back to your Blender, File, Export, and redo it in Substance Painter. Now, I could definitely do this 100%, but I'm a bit lazy, so I'm just gonna find a different way of doing this actually. But before we do that, let's put the other ones on. So helmet's done, chest done, arms. See where it says arms. Put it around here. Nothing wrong with these ones. Go to NMO. Guessing it's this one. Nope. Maybe the first. Yes. Go to now the legs. Same process. Just put the legs on. NMO. There you go. And underbody. Is this one? And the NMO should be this. There you go. So even though it looks pretty similar, I guess, it's the color is still not there. And that's just the best way I can explain it is armor being armor. Ain't no other explanation. What you can do to change it is just press here on color and change the color like so. You could change the tan, or I guess color variation of it like over here, but I'm just gonna keep it white, white, and just lower it a bit like so. I think maybe a bit lower like so. So I'm just gonna copy this, go to legs. Nice, it didn't save. Okay, legs 120, or I guess 119. Okay, arms 120. Boom, chest, same process. So now it looks a lot more similar. There you go. A lot more similar, I guess. I guess there's some details like this not fully being able to show. Like if I go to chest, I guess I could. I think that's fine. Yeah, I don't want to go too crazy. Also, do not touch anything that's got to do with like like this. Do not touch any of these at all. If you want to make something glow, here's the emissive whatever, where you can increase it like so. And you can increase the light, or you can have none. There you go. Right. So before I change anything, I'm going to save all. I'm going to go to editor, world editor, go to Arma Reforger, worlds, MP, MP test, and MP test.net. Or you can just type MP test.net, ENT. So we want to, oh shoot. Sorry. You need to create a prefab. So for this one, I am going to be using a vest. So you go to Armor Forger, prefabs, characters, uh, vest, vest 6p2 is the one I'm going to be using, and then duplicate and call it Enclave PA. Now go back to here, prefabs character vest. Here it is. You're gonna put it here, like so. Then you want to go to maybe mesh object. Go to where you've put your model. So this one, .xob. Put it here. Go to base loadout cloth component. Put these in here. And then apply it to prefab. If you want to change the name, you go to inventory atom components. I'm just gonna call this Enclave APA, and that should be good. And now to save this world map, I know some people like to go directly into their prefab and edit it and whatever, but this is how I do it. I'm just gonna press on where I have my project, change the name to, I don't know, Navarro, I guess. just so that when I exit out of this, I go to World Editor, I go to select this, it says navarro.dnt, and all my stuff is saved. So I now go inside. Now you're gonna see an issue here, why you do not want to do an entire set in, like you need to separate the helmet from the armor. Now I haven't done that, just to show you what happens if you do. So this is kind of, it's not too bad actually, kind of cool actually, but if you go into third person, you can see that everything's movable. There needs to be some slight adjustments, I will say. Maybe make the head a bit bigger. Otherwise, if you look at the body, it's pretty good. If you see, yeah, you can see the toes, but they still follow around pretty good. I'm gonna show you how to actually remove that and use an undersuit instead to hide all of these fleshy parts. But otherwise, I would say it's pretty good. I'm gonna exit out of it now. Right, so this is where the kind of workflow begins, where you need to, in a way, you need to like fix this. Okay, so what I've done here now is that I've loaded in an actual armor body, so you can see what exactly is going on. So I'm not a really big fan of the neck, I can be honest. I think it would be better if I removed it. Now you see if I press Ctrl L, it's going to select the entire thing. That should be good to use. Now I'm going to place it back to where it was. Right, so it'd be something like this. So you can see it doesn't fit his head properly. Might need to make it a bit bigger, like so. Like what I'm probably gonna be doing then is I might just actually remove the mesh of this helmet, of the head that I have. I think that is the best way to do it, and then just put like a scarf or some kind of thing here to, you know, kind of hide it. Or I could just use an undersuit, but either way, the head probably needs to be removed. Right, so I'm gonna export this again, and I'm gonna do the same name. Go back here to where I've put my model. Delete all of this. Import. This one. Go to import settings, export skinning. Should be good. 163. If you go back in here, it's still here, so we don't have to redo everything. Just to make sure. Yeah. That's it. I think that's pretty good. Now, what do we do now? What we need to do is we need to what we need to do. I've completely forgotten what I need to do. Right, now that I've done that, what we're gonna do now, we're gonna fix an actual undersuit that will work. So I'm gonna open and make a new one. Save, delete, import the model you have, which is this one. Delete all of the bones as we don't need that. Okay, I guess not. We need the bone. Just hide it, I guess, for the time being. Hide that. Import your whatever this is, undersuit rigged. Wait, did I import or export? Bruh. Am I tweaking? Okay, there we go. So, hide that. So, what I'm going to do now is go to sculpt mode and grab. This is where you kind of need to experiment what you think works. Obviously, the longer distance, the bigger the radius, the more zoomed in you can, like, you know, more stuff, I guess. So this would be like an undersuit that goes with this thing, like that is meant to be used with this. So I can change some parts of it. Like so. Oh. You go. There it is. It's actually not too bad already. Can increase it a little bit though. Like so. Fill this area maybe. This can take a bit of time. Depending on what you want to do with it, obviously. Other than that, I think it's actually pretty good. Like so. I think that should be it. Save. Actually, I can't bother saving. Save if you want. Alright? That's my advice. Right, so this is what the undersuit would look like. You can see it's kind of weird, but yeah, if it works, it works. I've had weirder undersuits in the past. I will say that. Make sure that you got the right root. So it's this one. So you're gonna have to delete this and entity position 1, not 0.01, as that's the one we're using. Cameras really don't matter. Just remember that. Now you need to delete everything that has nothing to do with this. So delete that, delete that, delete that. Hold on. Okay. Delete. So everything but this. You just gotta make sure, otherwise you're gonna have to redo it. There you go. I said delete, didn't I? Bozo. Right, that's perfect. Export FBX. Download. I can't bother. Enclave undersuit APA. Custom properties. Do not add leaf bones. Open this. Use UV tile. Whatever. If it works. If it doesn't, just uncheck it. Okay, cool. Discard. There you go. There's our model. Right, so I'm just gonna make it real quick. You gotta edit, bake mesh maps, select your output to 2K, bake selected textures. Nice. Okay, so that texture is completely fucked. Go back in here. Remove that. Add new undersuit A. So you can see why it was fucked. It's because of that. So you just press U, smart UV. Try 30. Export FBX. There you go. Now you go back, select that, use UV tile workflow, and it should be fine. There you go. Bake mesh, the 2K, bake selected. There you go. Now that you've done that, you can put on pretty much anything on it. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, it's not the greatest piece of work. That's why I don't recommend doing like your entire set in one UV. As you can see, it's just not good. But for this, I think if you just use like a very basic pattern like fabric, I think it should be fine. You won't really notice the issues. So I'm just gonna export that real quick to like downloads. Not really. Enclave extras, undersuits. Infusion and export. Then go back in here. Go from yeah, it's never really good to be having both Substance Painter and Arma Reforger tools in the same tab. So it's this. Undersuits. Import. Uh, Sorry, not that. I need to import this as a model. Sure, you need to import settings, export skinning. 163, perfect. Undersuits, and it's just these two. I was honestly thinking maybe something yellow. Something like so, I think is pretty okay. Also, you can see there's an issue where like it's invincible like that. You need to go over here and press none. Now you need to create another one, but this time a separate thing, so not a vest, but maybe a jacket. So uniform, check suit, and use this, duplicate, and undersuit APA. Now we go back into our world, where our prefab is, uniforms, boom, um, not that, undersuits, mesh, there you go, base loadout, boom, boom. And then where's the inventory, whatever you want to call it, here it is. And apply to prefab. And then save to save the world. And take all my clothes off. You're gonna see that it fits perfectly. Don't worry about this body, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter that much. When you put on the helmet, you see it fits pretty dang good. Now, to make sure we aren't seeing shit we don't want to see, you need to, what I usually do, because I always keep forgetting which body parts it is. Okay, restart. Right, so as I was saying, um, how we remove such things is pilots. Oh, pilot, Arma Reforger, prefabs, characters. And then it should be this, and then just, I guess, duplicate, doesn't matter. I kind of already overridden it, but it doesn't matter because we're not gonna be using this thing. We're just gonna be looking at its properties over here. where it says override missions to hide. As we said, these are all the body parts that we want to be removed. So it doesn't matter which one it is, but we can do it for this one, I suppose. So for this one, we need to add a bunch. So arm upper, arm left, but no buttocks. So we're just gonna Control C, Control V, thigh, thigh. uh, I forgot a few things. It also needs foot, L, and foot R. I think that should be good. So now that when we take our clothes off, put this thing. As you can see, there's this, but it doesn't really matter because when we put the PA on, it's gonna cover that. As for the head, I wish there was a way where you could do it without removing the throat, but there isn't. So what probably is the best way to do is just to put a baklava on or something. Nice. Okay. Okay. Apparently, I guess it doesn't remove it. I don't know. Must have done something wrong. Okay. Yeah, it kind of does. I'm not gonna lie. Still removes it. But as you can see, you got a perfectly working, and it looks pretty good actually. You can see that the torso is kind of moving on its own. The middle and the bottom part are also kind of, they're like separate and whatever. The foot, besides it maybe tripping through the floor, it's not too bad. That's why if you want it as like perfect as possible, you probably need to rig the foot or give weight painting to the foot separate. But either way, this is pretty good. It does everything you need to do. There are some mesh issues, like for example if I go prone, you can see that it's kind of invincible, the knee pads. Other than that, it's pretty good. If you want to fix that, you just need to go over here. Underbody, press none, 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 and save it all. But there's now a slight issue. And that issue is that this thing has this, whatever this is. and we don't want it. So how do you solve it? So what you need to do is you need to go back to Blender, open your model that you have, and what you need to do now is delete export as an FBX, rename it so you don't have to redo everything, make sure it's custom properties, and remove add defaults export. Then you press Ctrl Z, and then you remove everything else, not the bones, just the mesh. Remove that and export this as a separate helmet and export. Now, oh, can't believe that was still going. Now what you need to do is go to your thingaling, model basic, delete this, APA model Arma, add it in, and the helmet. Now you're gonna export thing, then you're gonna go over here and oh, not that, export skin. Oh yeah, I've already done that. Sorry, I mean the helmet. Import scenes, export skinning. And it's all 163, that's perfect. Right, so what do we do now to fix that helmet issue? You go into the material, you go to where it says opacity map, you press this, and you type, you go to Arma Reforger, assets, characters, base body data, and you want to go to head clipping A. Select that. You're not done yet. Then you want to go over here to allow user alpha bias and disable user alpha in whatever that is. Save all. Select a helmet. Now this is where I wanted my mod, my dependency, whatever you want to call it. So it's night vision, prefabs, characters, headgear, helmet. No, there's a bunch of different ones. There's these. I don't know what are these names. So this is Greg Headgear. This is Greg Headgear NVG base. I don't know, to be honest, what all of these represent. I'm sure it's, I guess it's only the color of it. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna just select this, duplicate. I'm gonna call it APA helmet. Go to where this is. Select your headgear. Put it here. Mesh. This is where you go to where your model is. Where did I put it actually? Model basic, here it is. So you want to put this over there. Base load.cloth. We're going to put this here and this here. Apply to prefab. That looks pretty cool, I guess. I don't know. Let's see here. So now if we're inside because we use the normal, whatever you want to call that, opacity, we can see perfectly fine. Can aim fine. And I may need to fix this, but I think it looks pretty okay. If I'm gonna be honest, nah, just kidding. Who am I trying to trick? Right. So now that we've done that, we finally got our armor here, and as you can see, I have fixed it after some time. So if we go in here, we will be able to see in the dark. Pretty nice, I will say so. Looks very smooth, clean. Only issue being this, that I may need to fix on my own later on, but I would say that's mostly it for today. Next video I'll show is gonna be on how to do colliders, and yeah, how I do that and show that and whatever.